Good afternoon. This meeting of the Shelton Metropolitan Park District is now called to order. If you are ready to hear the consent agenda.
I am.
Please.
I am.
All right. Can we please have the reading of the consent agenda?
I do have a correction on the consent agenda, but I'll read it. That's
okay.
Correct. Voucher number 12 in the amount of $10,280.62 to City of Shelton for fourth quarter 2015 services.
Okay. Was there a correction?
The voucher number on here listed is 99.
Oh.
It's actually number 12.
Okay. Oh,
it's number 12. It's not 990000.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda with the correction of the voucher number, which is 12.
Okay.
Yes.
A second?
And I second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I also am in favor. Forgot. I always forget that part. Okay, we have no old business, but Mark Ziegler has some new business for us.
He's old. He's the old business.
That's right. Thank
Not
you.
as old as me.
Thank you.
No.
Appreciate it.
So good.
So today I'm updating you on one of the processes that we're going through with this Parks and Recreation Citizens Advisory Committee, and that's updating the Parks and Recreation Comprehensive Plan. It's a 6-year roadmap to where Parks and Recreation will be taking our park facilities based on the public's input. Part of this process is to put out a public survey, garner as much interest as we can from the public and what their wants and needs may be. Not only currently, but over the next 6 years, for not only parks, and more parks might be located, future parks and facilities, but also amenities within those parks. You know, what types of parks? If it's a BMX track, or a soccer field, or basketball court, or public restrooms, or any of those things. So, kind of the first step, we've been working through this plan and updating the existing plan we have now at our monthly Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meetings. The next step is putting out a written survey, as you have a draft of that in your packets today. It's a fairly short survey. We want to get people to respond to these, and the feeling is that if it's a long 5-page survey, folks probably set it aside and not bother with it. So fairly short survey. It's crafted after the previous survey we did in 2007. And then along with the survey, we would also have a public meeting, invite the general public to come to that meeting and express their interests in support of any of the projects that might be listed here, or provide some new projects. And we'll also develop this in an electronic format so we can get it out via the avenues that we have available to us here at the city, and make it as easy as possible for people to provide their input. And they certainly could call me or email me with any comments or input or suggestions as well. If they're not comfortable filling out the survey, or they just have, one comment or suggestion there. So we garner some demographic information, what kind of neighborhoods they might live in, areas of town, how many times they visited some of our park facilities, what they feel is most needed within our parks. There's a full list of amenities that they might that we've come up with as suggestions, but there's also opportunities for them to provide any input or other facilities. If they think some of our parks are in great shape or poor shape, we certainly want to know that. We tend to not hear a lot of positive comments. We typically get comments back when there's an issue and a problem, and we really want to hear those. That's how we can address some of the issues, because we can't be in the facilities at all times. And it's nice to hear when something's wrong, or people feel like they have a concern in one of our park facilities, and then we can address it. We also ask about recreation programming, what type of programming they might want to see provided in the community, something that the residents might take advantage of, and best react to that and get some of those programs available to them. There is a question on here about funding, additional funding, and the formatting kind of is a little funky there on the back side of the page. When it was printed off, I apologize for that, but we ask about some of the funding strategies, and with the formation of the Metropolitan Park District in 2010, that was supposed to address a lot of these funding issues that we're having within the Parks Department. But there is still some opportunities for maybe for folks if they really wanted to express some interest in a larger park facility, community center, big sports field complex, purchase of a waterfront property, something like that would be above and beyond what the park district is funding right now. So there's a question and answer area in there to express some interest in whether they would want to fund a big project like that with some additional revenue streams. I think that about covers it, unless you have any questions or comments.
This is just a demo here. You're still going to change this, This isn't the final.
We're working it. Yep, there's a little work still to do on it. Absolutely.
Okay. And then we all live in the city, so we can fill this out also, basically. So
Certainly.
We'll get one of these dropped in our box or whatever.
The intent is to have these go out with the city utility bill.
Well, then I'll get
June?
I'll get 10 of those.
And we'll, and so it's a nice avenue to utilize. It's utility billings that are already going out to our residents, so we can throw an insert in with those, but we'd also put them out in public areas here in the Civic Center and other areas, and put out some press releases notifying the public that these comments are warranted for this situation.
I assume you'll be going on the radio as well
You
as
bet.
part of this?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think last time you did this survey, you kind of gently insinuated that my neighborhood stacked the deck to get the Teresa Johnson Community Trail. I can't promise that isn't true, but I did get the word out that we needed to get the surveys back in, so hopefully that will happen this time as well. Kathy, did you have anything?
Yeah, is this going to go on, is this too much information to put on the new website that we're going to have?
I'm not sure how it'll be formed. We certainly could put a link to that, and
Right.
they could download that from the
I
website.
think that would be really good.
Yeah, we'll certainly have that. As far as a fillable form, I don't know if we're capable of that with our existing website, but if we have that new website up in time to have this information pertinent,
You
that
can
we would
print it
certainly
off
do
and-
that, or have a fillable form.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's great. It looks really good.
And did you tell us, will it go out in the next utility bill?
Yeah, the intent
Okay. Great.
for it to go out in the June utility bills.
Fabulous.
Yep, very good.
Okay, at this time, do you have any report for us, Pete?
2 days.
And the short answer is no.
All right.
And thank you for the opportunity, Madam Chair.
Of course. So this is the first day that Pete is joining us as interim city administrator, so welcome, Pete. There is an opportunity for general public comment. Does anyone from the public want to comment on this? And see none. The next.
I had
Oh.
one, I just want to make a comment, so
Okay.
I might have probably should have mixed it in with what I was talking to
Go for
Mark
it.
about. But last week I was at the library attending a informational meeting talking about heroin use in our community. And your name got brought up, not as a heroin user, but as someone who is part of the answer, not part of the problem, along with the many activities that the parks has for people for time and activities and things like that. So, because a lot of times people fill things in with other things if they had more activities or opportunities to do things. And so anyway, I just want to let you know, I didn't have many great answers, really, for what the city was doing, addressing that exact situation. But your name did get brought up as a person that was working towards helping, provide certain opportunities for people so they would lean more towards the physical activity rather than drug use. So, there you go. Public comment.
As you've seen, our summer brochure is out. Summer recreation brochure came out with the May utility bills. We're taking registrations now for our summer programs. It's, I guess, not so subtle segue into that. So we do have those programs available for youth and adults, and that information's out and about in the community, and their registrations are rolling in now as
Good.
school year is ending fairly soon.
So are you going to have stuff like at the Transit Center, or are you going to have things like craft programs and things that for kids that aren't sports-minded, or?
I have some art programs
stuff?
that'll be located here, absolutely,
here,
through the
okay.
month of July, yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you very much. You're doing a great job, Mark,
Thanks.
and hopefully the financial situation will improve in the near future, so we'll be able to do even more.
Yes.
So at this time, I will announce that the next meeting of the Shelton Metropolitan Parks District is July 25th at 1:45. And everybody fill out your surveys. This meeting is adjourned.